Coming in live from the Lagoy part of Bintan Island. We are here with the penultimate ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare, number 19. I am your host, Yaku of Dizaku, and with me today I have El Narado que saca todos los caimanes himself, Light_VIP. How are you doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? We're back. We're here. We have someone who we have not seen in quite some time, and I'm ready.
Good old Jim. But before we get into that, we are now loading in onto Pillars of Gold. LE. LE, of course, standing for Long Arm. Long Arm. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. We have the pink, I almost said Protoss player, Zerg player, coming out all the way from the land of Australia. He is going to be representing Mindfreak SC. It is Chase. With the ace. Now check out the base. Boop, 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 boop.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Pillars of Gold, LE, we have the Australian Terran player representing Legacy Esports. It is Azure.
And it has been a while since we've seen Chase about.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just quickly looking, and the last tournament that he played in was ESL Open Cup number 9.
Ooh, he comes out every 10 ESL Cups.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a bit of a shame, but we haven't, he hasn't really been competing as much in quite some time. But especially with DreamHack, on the horizon, he is back. He's been practicing, and he signed up this week.
Yeah, gonna be really interesting to see what he can pull off, especially as a would you say he's a semi-pro? Would that be the correct
sure? I mean,
categorization? Because I know Chase isn't like full time.
Yeah. I mean, I categorize all these players as pro players, like including Vivid. Like, I don't in my mind, yeah. Even though Vivid himself says he's more of a streamer, but yeah, like Chase, he did kind of take a break from the game. He was having I guess motivation issues, which I don't blame him. Especially when it comes to the ladder. He was posting about it on Twitter, and other people were talking about it as well. How if you try to ladder on NA, it forces at the GM level, it forces your opponent onto the Australian server, and then you just get a lot of hate from NA players because they don't want to play on Australia. So it's so you have to play in Korea instead. Sometimes you don't have good VPN.
You're not allowed to select your region when you're in the Masters or the GM level.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
But sometimes all you need is your own lobby where you can select the servers without going into your options this time. Chase going in for that very quick roach rush, already making his way across the map, and honestly, why not on a map like Pillars of Gold, especially when you're in a ZVT?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to see how this goes. As Azure, I think he scouted this. He didn't go into the main base, and I don't know if he spotted the roaches on the way back.
He did at the last second. Now you can see him evacuating his base. Rip that one supply depot. You're gonna have to cancel it, Azure. And does what you got to cancel out.
Ooh, and luckily Azure, he was already going for a 1-1-1. He already has a Banshee on the way, so all he has to do is hold here on the high ground as best he can.
I love how seriously he's taking this, sending in every single SCV to repair anything as long as he can. He's fine to lose SCVs right now. He is fine to lose units. What he absolutely cannot afford is to allow these roaches to go into his base. He needs to buy as much time as possible for that Banshee to come out.
Yeah, it's really interesting the variant that Chase went for, because there are versions of this where you get like 3 Ravagers, and with those 3 Ravagers you can actually like kill a depot or 2 on that ramp, and then you back off, right? Like that's your goal. You deny mining time at the natural, and you also kill a depot. Here he didn't get any, and instead he just opted just to force the lift, you know, force the cancel, force all this on lost mining time, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think you kind of saw. Wait, let's double check this real quick. Yeah, you did see the starport. Didn't quite see the add-on on it, but kind of understood that something was coming out. He's giving Azure a lot of credit there, or a lot of respect, I should say. So he knows it's going to be a Banshee. So just gonna turn around, go into this lair, focus on the macro.
Yeah. So he, you know, he's satisfied with the damage that he did get done. Then he just comes back home for defense, hopes not to lose any roaches needlessly to the Banshees, and yeah, we're just gonna macro from here. You know, he gets a 3rd base, works on his upgrades.
And he doesn't have too much army right now, but to be honest, neither does Azure. These roaches are the bare minimum that Chase needs right now to really deflect those Hellions coming out.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about like how good is his Spore positioning and his Queen positioning to stop this Banshee, and so far it's pretty good.
Spore still in range to detect this, but not quite in range to start firing. And once that Banshee moves out of the detection zone, there's not really much Chase can do about that.
Yeah, and Azure is able to keep that Banshee alive, joins it up with the 2nd one, so this is very like, you know, it's kind of like in PvZ how you keep the Oracle alive to like tank, or so the new one can tank for the old one and you can deal more damage. Meanwhile, the Hellions actually got into the mineral line.
Yeah, those roaches not quite in position to deny the body block or to get the body block out. 10 drones already go down. Thankfully, Chase was able to wall that off, prevents him even further loss.
Yeah, but that was quite a lot of drones already done. Like Chase, his roaches were just a little bit out of position, and the Hellions were able to dive in and get 7 drones to add on to the 3 that the Banshee got. So Azure already, you know, dealing some damage. And I was going to talk about a little bit about this, but Azure, he's been performing really well recently, like in recent months.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see what goes into that. Meanwhile, I think Chase has just about had enough of that. After losing 10 workers, he is just building that roach count. His 1-1 is about to be finished up. Galile as well. He's looking to end this, and honestly, looking at Azure's defensive position, there's a chance that if he lifts the orbital at the exact wrong moment, then the roaches are just going to pour in, but this is Azure we're talking about. He's being careful.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, where at the moment, because the 3rd CC is part of the wall, I don't know if we're going to bust through this, especially with only 1 Ravager. He busts through the first deep one. He's trying to get on top of the Marines.
Trying and not really succeeding. These tanks were in a fantastic defensive position, none of them being really threatened, and now these Banshees, they're just punishing the remnants of Chase's army.
Yeah, oh god, that was a really expensive loss there, and I'm really surprised that Chase went for that again with so few Ravagers. Like, I understand getting vision, you go in, you buy the tank, and then you can get something done, but yeah, he just didn't really have the firepower there to do so, and lost the majority of his roaches in the process.
Yeah, on the bright side, he is starting his transition to Spire, though. But Azure knows what's happening. Or rather, Azure knows he's got the opportunity. He is getting ready to push out. And I do not think Chase is going to have enough for it.
Yeah, especially after losing all of those roaches, right? And here we go. It looks like we may see a drop at some point as Azure, like, he's just trying to, you know, establish his 3rd base here. And yeah, I don't blame him, right? Like, you know, he defended, now he can expand, and then...
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Azure decided to play this out this cautiously. I'd normally imagine you kill that many roaches, march across the map, see if what you can get done. But yeah, sure, he doesn't want to take that risk. He is keeping back. He wants to get damage done, but he wants to get damage done with these Banshees rather than timing, which again is perplexing. His 1-1 has already finished up, and he's got most of his upgrades out.
Honestly, like, even if he was like a little bit scared of pushing out, like just going out with your drops with your Marines to clear creep, to drop in the main base, like, because your opponent is going so roach heavy, like their anti-air is really lacking, so you can really abuse that, as we can see here with the Banshees. Like, drops could have done some damage as well.
But here come Bermuda! So that is the only reason why Azure didn't drop.
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't know about the mutas, but the mutas are here now. They do get revealed. They will deal with the banshees, but at least the banshees serve their purpose to let Azure know. And now is his opportunity to push out.
Yeah, I think maybe he was just a little bit worried about just in case Chase decided to go for some kind of AoE. Chase taking a page out of Vivid's book, and okay, they're not where the Marines are. This is okay. This could have been deadly.
This would have been a really nice like Doom Drop style to like go into the main or something, but yeah, he needs to drop them. He needs to deal with the army that's already at his 4th base.
Yeah, I mean Chase could try to go for a base trade. I mean, he's got the Spire out. He's already got mutas, so I mean he could try to go for it. But yeah, he's playing it out more. He's playing it out more so of he wants to win the straight on engagement, and then from there get an advantage. Sure,
yeah, I mean, he has
give him that though.
He has a decent Roach Ravager army, and like with his mutas, he's trying to flank around.
The queens are so slow. The queens off creep. They could not get on top of those tanks in time. And look at the split from Azure. Chase trying to go in for the multi-prong, but Azure already prepared for that. Already split his army up, and this is an army of Chase that is just going right on down. GG is called. Azure takes game number 1.
Yeah, GG, well played. And Chase, like it did look like he wanted to be the aggressor there, but yeah, just each time it felt like he didn't really have what he needed, right? It was really odd that he decided to go for mutas, but he also wanted to drop as well with his roaches. It feels like you invest into one or the other, and even with the Spire, he only got a handful of mutas as well.
He belongs to the air. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's his place.
Exactly. He just wants to fly, you know.
Exactly. Let him spread his wings. God damn it.
Oh god. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree with the idea, because Azure, I briefly mentioned that he's been looking really in form recently. You know, he played well against Demi, Oreo. He recently beat Probe as well a couple of weeks ago. Like he's just better than he's ever been before. And you look at that and you're like, okay, I have to try and do something a little bit crazy if I'm going to take him in the series.
Yeah, I'm thinking the exact same. I mean, Azure, he has made it to the finals of these ESL Dare Cups. I want to say 3 weeks in a row. I could be wrong on that one, but yeah, he's consistently made deep runs lately. This past month, I would say, and yeah, I guess we'll wait to see what Chase can get done in game number 2 on Ice and Chrome. You had a host, right? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, just making sure everyone was ready.
Yep.
And yeah, we're going to be loading in. And you know, I guess some fun facts, like Chase, he has been practicing recently. He's been streaming a lot recently as well, over on his Twitch channel. So if you do want to tune into that, Chase Jackson, he's great. It's beautiful.
Old mate Jackson.
It's the best guy.
Is Jackson a common name in Australia? I feel like I don't hear it much outside of... Like, I know it's an actual name, but... I feel like Jackson's normally a last name.
I mean, I know a
like
fair
Clark.
amount of them, so maybe it's an Aussie thing. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like Clark. But here we are now on Ice and Cream. LE. LE, of course, stands for Lemon Example. Lemon Example, because you put the, you know, lemon flavor. Normally like a sherbet, because it's a, yeah. In the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner map, we have a pink, not Protoss player, Zug player. Coming out all the way from the land of Australia, representing Mindfreak SC, we have Chase. Now check out the base.
The lack of bases. He's going for a 16 pool and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE. We have the Australian Terran player representing Legacy Esports. It is Azure.
old mate Craig.
Krug.
Krug.
There you go. There you go. So
Krug.
Chase, the Krug, sure. Chase, he went for an earlier pool. He went for a 16 pool, which is quite interesting. He's gonna get some early lings, and I mean, I imagine it's a little bit of an odd pool timing. I imagine it's just to deny the nat.
I'm not too. Yeah, I guess denying the natural would make a lot more sense. I was thinking Chase. Maybe he's going for a defensive 12 pool to try to deny scouting, and then go for something. Oh, not 12 pool. Sorry, defensive pool first, and then try to deny some scouting, and then from there go into something else. But yeah, Chase, he's moving out with these lings. He is just looking to deny that natural. Put on a little bit of pressure from Azure, and best case scenario, throw him off his game.
Yeah, and oh my god, Azure, he keeps his Reaper at home. He didn't even... Okay, never mind. Okay,
he went in with the SCV scout. Sorry. He knows. He knows.
Yeah. He went in with the SCV scout. Yeah.
This is what I aspire to be like. Someone who knows and understands.
Someone who scouts.
Someone who scouts and also uses that information. But he's starting to move out. Azure, he thinks is a fake out. And Chase, he's starting to move in, but I don't think he's going to be able to deny this. That SCV is starting to get low. The Zerglings are covering it. The SCV moves around, and the CC does manage to finish up and lifts right up into the main base.
That's rough. That's rough. Chase, he went for this opener to delay the CC from even starting, and it just in 1 second more, and he would have been able to deny it, but it did finish. And Azure starting off strong.
Oh god. He's pretty in form.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you noticed, but I loved how when Chase was moving across the map with his 6 lings, like he had split them up, and he had them in such a way where Azure, he left right with his Reaper. He thought it was just like a single ling or whatever. It wasn't a big deal, and there was that opportunity for Chase to deny that CC, but yeah, just not quite in time.
Yeah, an opportunity is just about that. An opportunity doesn't guarantee success or the other one. And speaking of guarantees, what is not guaranteed, Light, is battle cruises coming out from Azure.
I mean, it's kind of guaranteed.
it's not 100% guaranteed though.
It's pretty guaranteed, and Chase going in here with these things, but he did run into the Marines. So. Okay, so there is like maybe a small chance that that he's making the fusion core just to make the fusion core.
What? just as a decoration? Like, yeah, this is gonna complement my base.
Yeah. I mean,
like
that the chance of that happening is probably higher than live range.
It's
That's what I was getting at.
Is it though? The chance of him just being like, yeah, I like what's it called, lava lamps back in the 80s, or was it the 70s? I don't remember. I may as well get one in the form of this fusion core, and the links starting to run to the Hellions. The Hellions having an absolute field day. And now they're trying to get a lot more damage done. Run to the Queens will confirm that Chase is going for Ling Bane, and considering that Azure looks to be going into mech behind us, yeah, this is not looking too good for Chase. Even more drones starting to go down. More links as well.
Chase just didn't have enough to stop the Hellions from just diving in. Now he finally has a decent queen count to push this away, but not after losing 6 drones, all this lost mining time. And the difficult thing is that Chase, actually, he didn't get into the main base, he didn't scout, he didn't know that there was a fusion core, just that it was a 1-1 opener. Sorry, 1-1-1 opener.
And now it's
and as we can see, he doesn't care.
He does not one bit. Going straight for the baneling bust. Now Azure has what he needs to defend against this, but it's about how he uses his tools.
Yeah, definitely, as we do see the BC already teleporting across the map. Chase, he does have a decent amount of queens, but he doesn't have creep connecting the bases, so it's taking so long for the queens to go down into the natural. Oh, and at the same time,
he does have Ace for. There's starting to move in. Azure kiting them at the last second and should be able to take out these banelings. Very good use of the choke point here. Ellio's starting to go down. Even gets a surround with his SCVs. Only two of them going down. Brilliant defense. Look at the army worker supply difference, and this BC is still alive.
Yeah, it's still alive.
It's to be a nuisance.
Yeah, it does have the opportunity to teleport. You know, things get a little bit too crazy, and these things. What are they going to do? There's already all these Hellions here for Azure, and as you were saying, he is going for that mech style. Yeah,
kind of the counter to Ling Bane, isn't it? Well, I guess it depends on how you use it.
Ling Bane is not ideal against mech because of Hellions, right? Hellions, they can kite, they can focus down all these Lings, and then what is there left to buffer for the Banelings? But he's trying to block the
not
Hellions.
A whole lot. Yeah, I mean, decent shot so far, and a lot of SCVs are starting to go down, but that's just about going to be the end of that. If we look at the supply difference, Chase is still pretty far behind.
Yeah. Definitely. Like he went for, you know, a more aggressive opener, you know, not economic. He didn't scout the BC, and the BC does a lot of damage. He went for the Baneling bust, and he didn't really get the damage that he was looking for either. Like Azure, he's just been continuing to deflect and defend so well.
Oh Jesus. Oh, come on, please. And with that, Chase kind of saw the writing on the wall. Realize he is playing mech, he's going to go in at an economic disadvantage. Generally not a good formula for success. But, yeah, pretty good, whatchamacallit, pretty good showing regardless for his re-debut.
Yeah, Chase, he, like, for both of those games, it felt like Chase went for a build, like he had a build in mind before the game started, and regardless of what was scouted, and
yeah.
And
but in the end,
Azure
just he's got a harpoon. He just went straight forward. Yeah, I guess if I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, are you saying that Chase, he went for builds that were meant to be more reactive, right? Meant to be good regardless of what Azure did, but on the flip side of that, if your opponent is able to execute their build properly, you have no solution to that. Okay.
Chase basically rolled the dice. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. It's either gonna work or it's not gonna work, depending on what my opponent went for. And because Azure went for the builds or the openers that he went for, especially like for that Ling Bane bust.
I think, definitely, but game number 2, I kind of feel like by the time he went for the, well, actually, now I think about it, he was building into Ling Bane. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He didn't know that mech or more Hellions were coming out. And yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but you know, congratulations to Azure. He continues his reign of dominance. And speaking of, I do have a bit of an update. Pez versus Probe did finish up as well, and Pez 2-0'd Probe.
Again?
Yes, again.
How do I keep missing those?
Oh my god, their series was actually faster than ours. Like we finished, and then I was like, "Oh, Pez, you're here."
I mean, it's a PvP.
Yep.
I guess that explains that.
Yeah. So we will be getting into. Oh, careful there. We will be getting into, as Demi also 2-0'd Starduck. Demi versus Pez will be our next series.